Gonna let people come in here, get this thing off. All right.
I'm so glad you gave, and you gave to me everything and all that I am. You're part of me, and I can't breathe again. Thank you for coming, coming, coming. Thank you for coming, coming. Thank you for coming.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Mr. Stephen Tenor, and you get to see the rest of that very shortly. But we have a lot of great stuff to go over, a lot of healing. I mean, when Stephen asked me to do this interview yesterday, I said, let's bring it on because it's talking about what he's up to with music and his Heal the World tour and how to pray and a lot of amazing things that I myself even need to hear about. So Stephen, welcome to Truth Stream. Thank you for joining me, brother.
Man, thanks for bringing me on. It's always a good time. It's great to see you again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, where do we want to dig in? I know we got some clips for everybody, but tell us about what you're up to. I think that might be, and the team that you're doing this with, that might be good for people to learn about.
Well, first thing to suck everybody in, even I missed one of the most important memos when, and this isn't about politics. I've removed myself as much as I can from the whole matrix and the psych ward that we're living in. That's why I'm completely stress-free and best health of my life and all of that, which we're going to touch on that a little bit today, how to do that. But there's an important memo that Trump gave at his first inauguration, and I think you have that it's just a 20-second clip, and it's like one of the most important things, and I think a lot of us missed it and the message behind it. So I just want to tell people what it means. So if you could show that to them, that would be cool.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick here. We're gonna make sure I got that ready. There's the Trump clip, and we're gonna share the screen. Where is it? Inbox. There it is. Okay. And here we go. 20 seconds.
Because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C. and giving it back to you, the people.
Yep. That was big for me.
That was big, but we all missed the memo. Even I missed it. Of course, there's the power of us, having to take care of business and take some things into our own hands, and a lot of the stuff that's going on out there in the matrix. But I believe because I'm living the life and I got the memo, I understand what at least 50% of the power he was talking about, and that's why the tour is starting. Taking our power back. Most of us, well, I don't know exactly who. I mean, there's a lot of people that are getting the memo and understanding this stuff. But that's what we're talking about today. I'm going to explain what we missed about the power that he was talking about, a big portion of the power. And so probably a great time is I got that other short clip, the language clip.
Yep.
Yeah, that is going to tie us right. And this is going to be, I'm using this show today, Joe. I'm replacing this with some of the shows I've done because the divine has lined this up perfectly today. This is going to be so informative and so perfect. And people are going to get the memo today. I'm feeling it. I know that this is happening. Yes.
Beautiful. So are we ready to play that one then?
Yeah, the language interview would be incredible. Perfect for that one.
Pull that up.
Another short one.
Here we go. Make sure it's at the start. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are with Gregg Braden.
And together we are sharing the science. Some of the science, Robin, is so new it has not yet made it into the textbooks, although it's in the accredited and accepted publications that describe a power that lives within every human that walks this earth. It's a language of human emotion, and the power of human emotion that we typically discount in our culture, not so in other cultures, but in our culture, the power of that emotion to literally change the conditions that we're talking about, the conditions of the healing within our bodies. And what the experiments are showing is that this power of emotion has the ability to influence not only our bodies biologically, but beyond our bodies into the physical world on the quantum level. It is a powerful language that other cultures apparently know very well. And in the West, when science came in, science discounted the effects of things that cannot be seen and measured directly 400 years ago. And now they're coming back full circle with the language of quantum science, reincorporating these forces, but the feeling and the emotion and the power of human emotion is among those forces that cannot be seen with the naked eye, and we're hard pressed to measure it on the one hand. And on the other hand, laboratory experiments are documenting the fact, and it is a fact now, that human emotion changes the DNA inside of our bodies and the way we function in this world, and that those effects extend beyond our bodies into the physical matter of the people in the world around us when we learn that language.
Awesome.
So did everybody hear that? The emotions affect your body and the world we're living in. So do we understand? We don't understand yet. Maybe I do, and a lot of people do, but that's the power. It's a big part of the power that Trump was talking about. And I believe a lot of the stuff that's just going on. And I just wanted to show everyone this beautiful little love muffin, Bambi, because she's here because I understand my power. We'll get into that in a minute. She just came out to say hello at the perfect time, right? You're such a little love. And this is her all the time with everyone. She's just a love muffin because I tapped into my power, and I learned how to use the language, which we're going to get into in a minute, that Braden talks about, which was taken out of scripture, Joe. I don't want to trigger anyone that goes to church and is in the Bible, but I think anyone in this movement, I believe that they'd have to agree that they know that books have been rewritten over millennia. Man rewrote them. Scriptures are missing. We have a lost book of Thomas that was unearthed. So we have missing scripture, and the lost book of Thomas, which we'll show in a second, that other little quick clip that tells us how to tap into that language. So I know how to tap into that language. This has been my journey for the last year or so. You know, we've spoken about this already. I brought the dog into my life because I know how to use my emotions, not fully, because we're so poisoned, right? And we're still caught up in everything that's going on out there, right? So before I go on a tangent, this next video is 3 people that understand the language, and we're going to watch. I don't want to say the words because I got a strike against my YouTube channel, but I don't know if it's the words or it's in the thing. So be careful. But we're going to watch people that know this language that he's talking about that was left out of scripture. And there's you're going to know why they took it all out of the scriptures today, because it makes us weak, fear-based, and poisoned, and we're powerless, and we're in the psych ward. So I want to show you 3 people, what happens and what we're going to be doing. No disclaimer. I don't know if this is going to happen on the first stop, but I know people are going to be going home in a completely different frame of mind, or when people are streaming, when I do stream some of these tours, once I get, the bugs worked out, the first or second one, we're going to be healing. We're going to be taking this power back. That's why I want to go be with the people, and you'll understand that and how important this is by the end of the show. So don't go anywhere. Could you play the tumor?
Yeah, that's the Greg Braden video. Yep.
I'll phase you out when we got to there. It's
this is about the first 5%.
Watch what happens, everyone, when we tap into our power. Like, this is real, so that this should be on everyone's priority. Anyway.
All right. Well, here we go.
So any discussion
regarding this feeling-based prayer, this lost mode of prayer, sometimes seems a little more than academic until we can actually apply it in our lives or see it applied in our lives. It's in the late 1990s that I had the opportunity to do precisely that, when I saw the footage documenting the healing of a life-threatening condition within the body of a living woman using precisely the kinds of techniques that we're speaking about right now. For me, it was this kind of information that took this lost modality of prayer out of the realm of academics and into something that's very real that we can apply in our lives. I had the opportunity during that time to see some video footage of the healing of a 3-inch diameter bladder cancer inside the body of a woman who, by Western medical standards, had been diagnosed inoperable. She had gone, as a last resort, to a medicineless hospital in Beijing, China. It was in this medicineless hospital where they began simply by addressing the life-affirming ways that she could change how she was living her life. They taught her life-affirming ways to breathe and life-affirming ways to nourish her body, gentle movements to stimulate the energy centers in her body. And as she was doing these and strengthening her body, at one point it made sense to undergo a process. Now I'd like to share this. I'd like to describe it to you as a very potent example of how the feeling world inside of our bodies has a direct effect, in this case a very graphic effect, on the world beyond our bodies. So in the video documentation, the film shows a woman lying on in a hospital room. She's fully awake, she's fully conscious, she believes in the process that's about to happen. Before her, there is an ultrasound technician who is running an ultrasound wand over her lower abdomen that we can see on a split-screen television. And on the left-hand side of the screen, they do a snapshot, a freeze frame of an instant in time for reference, so we can see what her condition looked like in that instant in time. On the right-hand side of the screen, we are able to watch real time as 3 practitioners stand behind her, working with the energy in her body and with the feelings in their bodies. And what they do is they begin to chant a word that to them, they've agreed upon, that reinforces the feeling within them that she's already healed. The chant essentially says, already healed, already done. And as they begin to have this feeling and to say these words among themselves, on the computer screen, on the television screen, we can watch in real time this cancerous tumor as it disappears in less than 3 minutes real time. It's not like time lapse on a documentary where you see a rose unfold in 30 seconds in something that normally takes days. This literally happens in less than 3 minutes. Her body responded to the feelings of the practitioners who were trained to have the kinds of feelings that they were having. And all they were feeling was the feeling of what it feels like to be in the presence of a woman who is already healed, fully enabled, fully capacitated. They were not seeing her as a woman who was sick, and they weren't saying, bad cancer, you've got to go away. It's a very, very different way of thinking about things, and it's a very graphic example of precisely how this principle works. I had the opportunity to speak to the gentleman, Luke Chen, that actually created this film. And I asked him a question. I said, what if those 3 practitioners weren't there? I said, could this woman have done this? Could any of us do this on our own? And he smiled at me when I asked him the question. He said, Greg, in all probability, she probably could have done it alone. However, there's something about us humans in that we seem to feel more empowered and stronger when we're supported by others in the things that we believe in and in the things that we choose to accomplish. So while she probably could have had this feeling and done it herself, having these 3 practitioners work with her was the threshold that it took for her body to respond. All they were doing was having the feeling as if she were already healed, and in less than 3 minutes her body responded. What Western physics now is beginning to tell us is that the same energy, the same field that led to the healing in this woman's body also leads to peace between nations. It's the same thing, different scale, same principle. And I've been involved in experiments where hundreds of thousands of people joined together through the World Wide Web. We were coordinated on the internet at a given hour of time, a window of time.
when we were trained to feel the feelings of peace in our bodies during that time. And when we did that, statistically, what happened in events around the world, there were wartime events. There were bombings, aerial bombings in Iraq that were scheduled, that were reversed during the window of time when this prayer was happening. Crimes against people declined. Emergency hospital room visits declined. There was a computer research project at Princeton University that was able to document the field of consciousness on a global level while these prayers were going on, and they saw a little glitch, a glyph on the screen indicating that consciousness was responding to hundreds of thousands of people feeling the feeling of peace in the moment that it was occurring.
Beautiful.
Is it starting to sink in? Why isn't every truther at least taking a little segment? I'm wondering. There's two reasons why not. They're either still a part of the agenda that wants to keep you in the psychotic matrix loop, to keep you away from your divinity and your power. Because once we tap into this and we know what's going on, we can instantaneously, I won't say instantaneously, it's going to take a little while. Did everyone hear that? I remember that way back when there was a group meditation and they stopped wars and the crime rates went down. It was documented. And did people grasp like we can do that once we take the time and understand and get together? This is why I'm doing the tour, Joe. I mean, I'm going to perform a little music, especially if I only get to perform one song. It'll be Thank You for Coming, because that's how I even have the song. We're both musicians. I never wrote a song. I was just a front man. I'm just a vocalist. I never wrote a song. I tapped into my power and I started to use this new language. And it takes a while. Maybe some people will be able to pick it right up. It took me a while. You know why? Because my pineal gland is calcified. We're getting fucking sprayed. Excuse me, beep. I don't want to get shut off. We're caught up in the distractions. We're in the loop and we're in stress mode. So I think people in this movement have had to hear about a little bit of health, with Lewis through the Truth Tour. You got to this is the temple. You don't go somewhere to a temple. You don't go somewhere to find the second coming of Christ. He's not coming back from anywhere. Everything is inside. It's our divinity. This is what people really have to understand. So we're all waiting and we're still following people that might still have an agenda to keep you caught up in the loop where you just won't take the time to start to implement your power and change your life like I did. I mean, am I living in a mansion? Do I have a yacht? No, I'm not all about that anymore. My bills miraculously somehow managed to just get paid at the 11th hour, and I don't stress over it anymore because I know the divine's going to take care of me because I'm walking the path now of sharing the stuff. I'm doing the right thing. I have perfect health. I have this gorgeous dog. I wrote my first song. My first song I ever wrote is Thank You for Coming. It's not ego. You see the song, Joe. You're a writer. You're a musician. I mean, someone that never wrote a song before, we've got the music video and the song to Thank You for Coming. I mean, how did it? I can't do that.
And the location, where you shot
the location, the shots, the sun coming through the window. It's like a Hollywood production. And the camera guy was $200 and I edited it. And it looks like friggin' Martin Scorsese did it. Why? It's not ego. Again, I'm telling everyone, I'm starting to do this gratitude, this heart and brain coherence, the language of love, what we're talking about today. And I'm just an observer to the nonsense that's going on in the outside world. I'm an observer now, like with tariffs and look, if we're in, the queue, right, and the plan. This stuff, if it was already taken care of, why is everyone so bent out of shape watching everything? I believe that that's going to keep on. This nonsense will go on as long as it has to until everyone understands that we're the ones that have to get the memo today in this show. And we have to at least take an hour or a half hour in the morning. Don't grab the phone. I don't want to get into this yet. This next video is, so here's what they took out of the scripture. It was unearthed, Joe. Is everyone excited about this? The Lost Book of Thomas. Could you play that quick clip?
Absolutely.
It tells you, Greg is telling you, in fact, that they took away the way to do it. It's been removed. All they put in was ask and ye shall receive. I've been asking God my whole life for shit, Joe. How about you? How's it going for you? How's that going for you?
Well, it could be going better.
Yeah, because we're not talking to the divine the right way who's within. Could you please play that clip? Thank you.
Yeah. So hold on. Book of Thomas. I don't know if I downloaded.
That's the one that you put at the 20-second mark there.
Yeah, there it is.
In the studio, I think, right?
Perfect.
The two of them.
Here it is. I found it. There we go. Okay, here we go.
Like this. And this is why I brought you to this monastery. I want to share with you one of these texts. One of the texts that was edited from our Christian Bible is in this monastery. And we saw it, and you'll see a picture of it here. How many have heard of the Lost Gospel of Thomas? The Lost Gospel of Thomas. Some of you have heard of that text. Very, very powerful text. The Lost Gospel of Thomas is powerful because it is believed to be the actual words of Jesus as he was teaching those around him how to use the power of human emotion in his life. I'm going to share two of these images with you. We said earlier, to unleash the force of the divine matrix in our lives, first, we have to understand how it works. And the science tells us how it works. Secondly, we must speak the language that the divine matrix recognizes, and science cannot tell us that. That comes from our past, from our culture, from our history, from those who have learned and used this language for thousands of years. So this is what we're doing right now. We're learning, what did Jesus and what did the great masters say about this language? Because it's the same, whether you're talking Buddhist or Hindu or Christian, pre-Christian traditions, they're all telling us that there is a field of energy and that we have the language to use that field. This is an actual page out of the Gospel of Thomas. So we know that this ancient gospel actually existed. And you can see some of the letters. These are Greek letters. You can actually read some of, if you know Greek, you can see some of the Greek letters right here. In the Gospel of Thomas, two very important keys. This was written right around 300 years after the time of Jesus. In this gospel, okay, so here's what we're doing. We've been in the Buddhist monasteries in Tibet, and they're telling us that that feeling is the prayer, one. Two, that we must feel as if our prayers have already been answered.
You wanted to keep the show down today, Joe. I don't want to go, but I have that stuff so people can. There's about an hour video on my homepage at healingtheworldtour.com, and they can, if they want to get into that, if this is resonating and they want to know more, like this is all real stuff. So that's the Book of Thomas. So really the key is what has been kept from us, Joe, is emotions, and it's love. And for the gematria people, if you do gematria on love, it's 54. And this was broken down by a very important person for me on my journey in the past. It was only gematria that ever stuck with me. I never really did gematria. It never, and they said, don't worry about it. And, but this is the only thing out of me watching like 2 months of gematria that stuck with me when this was broken down. Love, L and O, when you do the breakdown on gematria, is 27. VE is 27. So the whole word love is 54. And 4, gematria is A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, and so on, right, to 26. So 5D, D is 4, 54. Love is 5D. That's it. Love is 5D. No, there's no transportation coming to bring us to 5D. It's an inside job. And it's when you learn this language that's been kept from us. So important that they kept it out of all of the scripture. I hope this is resonating with people. We are responsible to stop everything that's going on. Now, I know that the fight is real. There are people that are, I know people that are missing children. They were stolen from them. I understand all of this. And and jobs, and people are in prison, for I understand that, everyone. But there's a level where we have to incorporate this. And I believe it should be in the morning when you wake up. You don't grab the phone and you start learning. And there's more detail about this. And this is what I'm doing on the tour. And the videos are out there. I encourage everyone to follow Gregg Braden and subscribe, because Greg's dropping the best monster bombs in the world in videos right now about where we come from. We've never been alone, what the battle is, what the struggle is, what they kept from us. They're trying to inject us with the chips because they're trying to take our humanness away. They're trying to take our divinity away. And we are the best soft technology. That's why everyone in other places watch us and come after us. This is real stuff. We're not alone here. So I hope that this is resonating with people, and I hope you get over to healingtheworldtour.com and watch that other video. But that's what it's all about. So, and you got that really, what is that, 40-second clip, that last clip, that distraction clip, which
Yep.
puts us all together, and then we'll finish the show out.
Beautiful. Here we go.
See all of this chaos in the world around you, distracting you from yourself, if there wasn't something within you that was so valuable it warrants that level of distraction. I want you to think about that. And I know it's a very different way of thinking for some people, and for others, it's right up your alley of what you've always felt. Maybe you've never heard it verbalized. It's important that we verbalize this, because in the next 4.5 years, we will be coerced, we will be mandated, we will be invited, we will be indoctrinated to accept new technologies, not just in the world, but into our bodies. I want to talk to you about this in future episodes. There's a reason for that, and it all falls under the broad umbrella of the ancient struggle between light and dark, good and evil. The goal of the struggle, remember, is to deny you your divinity.
He is amazing. He's so spot on. I love that guy.
He's Gregg has dedicated his whole life, and he just dropped a show. It's mind-bending. I don't know if I put that link in. I have the links, people that want to continue to watch that Book of Thomas and hear what the language is. But even in the Bible, in the Book of Thomas, it had to be broken down. And the most important thing, Joe, when I can't fully connect and do the whole meditation and the whole language and like the dog. I want to keep the show. This is in my other show. So I encourage people, if you're hearing something you love, go to healingtheworldtour.com. It's the video on the right. There's a short one, and then the video I did just the other night that goes a little more into depth about this. And I have the blueprint of how to start tapping into this stuff, and I guide you to these other videos. And I have Gregg's links of those full clips that we showed today. And people should, you should go watch them. I'm sharing other people's stuff. They did all the research. I'm just trimming it down. The divine told me I got to go out on the road. And he said, there's something about us humans when we get together.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
more powerful. I don't know exactly what the whole tour looks like, but I know that I'm being driven out of this house, whether I can afford it or not, which I could barely afford to get to Michigan and Ohio, but I'm not worried about it, because I know, there's been and shout out to Matt Geiger from Verity Metals. I put his link in under. Matt sent me a little bit of silver, and then he made a donation to me, so I can consider him a sponsor of the tour. If anyone wants to sponsor, talk to me about having the tour in your town. We're leaving Ohio this weekend on the 13th, and I have to be in Dallas on the 25th and the 26th. So if we could fit something in between and after the 26th, I don't know when I come back home. I don't know if I ever come back home. I don't care. I've given it all up to the Lord, and I want to get out of the psych ward. So you see that when us powerful beings get together and we get this mass group, only the Lord, only the divine knows how many of his people have to get this memo. And we have to start to get together and do that global thing again, now that we fully understand what's going on. And instead of just stopping a war temporarily, we're going to stop all of the madness that's going on. And I hope this, not because I'm here, this is probably the most important video I would believe. And I don't know why. There's only 2 reasons that people are not talking about this. Shows patriots, they either don't really fully know this and understand it themselves, or they are part of the agenda in the spiritual battle to keep you in the news loop, in the fear base, in the stress, in the anxiety. Are you feeling a little bit of that lately, Joe?
Yeah, and I want to address them. So first of all, this is something I want to learn more about this, because it's just been go for us, and we just did a live event, and what I want to know from you, and I think the viewers might be interested in this. What do you need as far as if someone wants to host you, if they want to have you and whoever's coming on this come to a town? What do people need, at least as a minimum, or what do you need to go somewhere? Is it a location? Is it a PA? What do you need so people can learn how they can help you to make an event happen? I mean, because this sounds like something that might be, we just did a live event, but if you're coming up in, well, now Scott and I are actually going to Costa Rica in part of May, but it's not about us. What do you need so people can have you at an event?
I just got so emotional for some reason, because wow, it's just, I didn't even tell you to ask that. It's just the divine working, and people are coming together that get the memo. That's how we're going to Michigan. Do you know Mustang Debbie? She's on some of the platforms. We're going to her place in Michigan, so it's her place. In Ohio is where the Mystery Machine was created as a part of my journey. Beautiful people there. So we have a space. We just need a space. I'm going to promote this online, so I hope it's busy. But if someone wants to just have us at their home and they have 10 people, I have a little mini PA, the suitcase, like Fender Systems. That's what I rehearse with at the house. It has a little, so I'm bringing that with me, because it's not about me performing songs. It's not about me, but Thank You for Coming was written by the divine through me, because people have to understand the only reason that song exists is because I learned without even truly knowing how I was learning it. Now I know fully why everything is going on in my life. I somehow learned to tap into that language that we're talking about today. This is the most important thing on the earth to be talking about right now, because when we learn this language, we change it. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We change everything. I hope people, you get it? We make matter disappear, right? A cancer tumor is, oh shit, I said the C word. It disappears. And when we get the language and we understand it, we make matter. You just saw it, right? We make matter disappear in 3 minutes, right? So can we make matter appear? When we say mountain move, you must move. Can we make a mountain move? You bet your ass we can, right? So are med beds coming? How much longer are we waiting for med? Do we need med beds? There's already lots of devices. This tour is not about devices, and I still use some of them, but I'm phasing out of that stuff, right? So we're in Pandora, Ohio on Sunday the 13th. The schedule right now is on healingtheworldtour.com, and you can get tickets. We got these spaces donated, but your ticket prices will be different because the Mystery Machine gets 7 miles to the gallon. And we got to eat, and there's other people that with other rigs and travel around. So we just, I'm not looking to make money. I don't care if I go out for 4 months, Scott, and go wherever I have to go, and we get the memo and everything's rocking and rolling, and we're, and the World's Fair celebrations start, the end of May, Memorial Day, and we're in a groove. Like the divine's going to tell me when to come home. So we just need a place. I have a mini PA, and the only reason the tour started, I have to tell everyone, I manifested it. I don't usually tell everybody pretty much verbatim. I have a vision board next to my bed, because this is your thoughts. This is your emotions. This is your daydreaming. This is why the kids can tap in and tell you all this wild stuff, because they're not poisoned yet. The fluoride didn't kick in. The spraying didn't kick in yet, to the 5-6 year old. They still are tapped into the divine. They haven't been fully, their temple hasn't been fully poisoned. So the kids say some of the most wild and right. This is what's going on. Right. So I have a vision board, and the thing I hand wrote, the very first thing in the middle says, and I put in for the abundance, right? Because I want abundance like everyone else. So I put, I'm making millions of dollars as a influencer, musician, actor, because I lost all of that. So I'm manifesting that kind of back into my life, and helping to get people to God and claim their power and healing. Did you hear that, everyone? That was written like over a year and a half ago. What's starting right now? The Healing the World Tour. Is it in arenas? No, but it will be soon, because that's how I manifested it. I want to tell you, people, I saw it as if it's already done. I would see myself before I wrote the song. That's how I wrote the song. That's how the tour started. I saw myself in arenas when I could fully connect. I would tap into my emotions, my brain, what it was thinking, and I would tap into my heart, because you have to bring yourself to that emotion. You have to get emotional. Guys, we have to get emotional. We got to forget about, oh, you're a guy, you can't cry in front of, you can't get emotional. We got double jeopardy. They double screwed us, because women are very emotional, right? So the guys are screwed because we don't want to cry. We don't want to get emotional. You gotta throw all that out. I cry. I'll go to a man's club tonight and start talking and start crying. I don't care, because my life is changing, and that's what's going to change the world. It's love.
Right.
That's 5D. I'm all over the place here because I just want to jam everything in. And please, everyone, go to healingtheworldtour.com. I have a detailed video, and I have those links that will bring you more into this stuff. And then you can find out where we're going. And tenorstribe@gmail.com. The contact is on healingtheworld.com. If you want to send me an email, if you're suffering with an issue that you want to try to get together, no guarantees, but man, this is the language. We got to get together. And I watched two people healed when I was in Dallas, Scott. I didn't know how it happened. I watched the woman got hit by a car, launched into the air. And we all, there was about 20 of us there. We got around her, but one main figure was hugging her, and then we all embraced. And I didn't know how to talk. We were just emotional because, like, holy shit, is she going to be okay? But a couple of us had to have like tapped because we were emotional. Our friend just got hit by a car. The woman was running around the next day. She just had bruises. I'm in pretty good shape. If I got hit by the car like she did, I would at least be 2 days laying down, like taking pain medication, my muscles. I mean, she got launched into the air. So we have the power to do this. It's all about the emotion and the language. People should cut out some time in their day. Ask your Patriot people that have shows to bring me on the show. Ask them why they won't bring me on the show. And if they don't, you have to ask them why. You have to ask them why they won't have me on the show. And then at that time, you have to start thinking, why would they not have Tenor? Everyone's talking about all kinds of shit. Kinds of shit. And I reach out to people, they're not getting back to me. They won't have me on their show. I got to start thinking. So you got to start cutting some fat out. Guys, I cut out all of my Telegram. I only watch Greg Braden. I see the stuff that's going on in the world, but I'm entertained by it now. I'm a spectator. I'm a spectator to the madness because that doesn't serve me. Because when I go to bed, I'm in complete peace. My body is not in fight or flight mode. Because if you're going to bed caught up in all of this stuff, Joe, you're going to bed in fight or flight mode. Your brain doesn't know that you're not being, your brain thinks you're being chased by a wild lion.
Right.
That's how your brain is treating your system when you go to bed. Everybody, if you don't go to bed in peace, if you're on Facebook and you're sharing like the tariffs and you're an idiot because you were protesting today. Oh, and you shared the thing of the retard meter and you're fighting and you're trying. How are you going to bed? Are you going to bed in peace that you're fighting and doing all of this stuff? I'm not saying don't do this stuff. I'm saying when you wake up, don't grab the phone. If you do grab it, put like some meditation music on and just lay there and start to do the heart and brain coherence. That's the first thing. It's on the video I just did at healingtheworldtour.com, and try to do it at night. Because when you go to bed in peace, your brain says the signals and it sends the chemicals to your body to heal. Did you hear what it's your body is self-regulation. We're self-healing. Joe, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm going to be 57. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm in the middle of a second fast. I've eaten a hard-boiled egg, a steak, and a side of pasta in the last 10 days. Could you imagine? I'm drinking water. I lost 15
Right.
pounds. I'm cleansing my temple because I want to tap more into this language. I want to tap more into this language. And I meditate several times a day. It's gratitude. I don't want to, they can go on and go to Healing the World Tour. I want to keep this short. So I don't, if we're in like 50 or 100 people, my little PA will probably do the job, but I will stop at a house. I have a powerful person with me, Diane Renee, that has her own rig. She's been in the spiritual world. She's a beautiful person. She completely understands this. She's got abundance in her life because she understands this. She's with me. Denise from the Truth Tour, Denise Bliss Phillips from the Grassroots Warrior Network. She's been influential. She got me on with Mark Atwood. She's reaching out to people. She's going to eventually hook up on the tour at Dallas. So I feel that this is going on for a while. So a lot of the things that we've been told that are coming, like Nasara Jasara, MedBeds, I believe we're the reevaluation. That's what I believe. That's what we're the evaluation, right?
Yeah, we gotta step into that. So as far as like, do you have places to stay? Are you going to be sleeping in the vehicles? Like,
I'm in the RV. I'm equipped, but when we stop at a place like by Debbie, we can plug the RV in, so we don't have to worry about because all the shit that happens. The battery goes dead. The heat.
Oh yeah, that's
like 15 covers. I'm prepared for the apocalypse in the RV. But the apocalypse isn't coming, and people should realize that right now. So start eating the food that you have saved up for the 10 days of darkness, because.
Well, just like Mark Atwood, I think we're all apocalyptimists at this point. I don't see it coming.
Not coming. Why would winning? Right. That's what Trump said, right? So the stuff that has to happen already happened. The market has. I mean, if you're in this movement, the market has already. It's all fake. There's a military operation going on globally. Most people have been dealt with. So there's two reasons I think that this movie continues. It's going to continue. It will continue forever until we get this memo and we start to do this, because we're the ones that are going to change the movie. And the other part is, in the Matrix, there's still lower level scum running around. There's still lower level people that didn't get the memo yet, that are still doing, trafficking and all of these things is down to probably probably 5% or less out of, the whole grand illusion, not illusion, but everything that was happening. So they're cleaning up. They're still letting people expose themselves. But unless you're in the military, unless you work for Trump, unless you signed an NDA with, the CIA, the new CIA and the FBI, you should start. My highest recommendation, and I have to say, with all love, I don't give a shit. I mean, I love everyone. I want them to get this memo. If they don't, my life is going to continue to just thrive, and I'm going out to do what I need to do. And I say that because I don't want to trigger you. I want you to understand. I talk truth and from the heart. I'm passionate about this. And this show today, the information in here and a little more research, when you start to tap into these things, which is just yourself. You're not tapping into anything but your divine self, and you're learning how to love. True love. I know why all my relationships with my friends that I don't speak with, and my divorce and my ex, mainly the ex thinks I'm batshit crazy because she's got cheap knees and everything, but I didn't know how to love. When I started to tap into this language, I actually felt love for the first time. You hear that, everyone? I actually learned what love was for the first time. And then I brought the dog into my life. And when I hold that dog, the dog is the most important thing in the world to me, because I created the dog from the field where everything exists when we tap into that language. So the dog, the song, music is back in my life. And the event in Dallas, Joe, is a film event that started 9 years ago of them following me as an up-and-coming actor, other actors as well. And I was manifesting the acting world coming back in a little bit, but with my productions, not going to audition for opinion of someone thinking I'm good enough for the role. Cause I wrote stuff. I have award-winning film. And I was like, I'm going to do my productions. I don't need to, I'm in charge. I'm the divine. I create everything. I'm in charge of this. And that's coming to me in the future. I see that as well in my manifestations. So the thing got accepted into an international film festival. It's a project, and I'm in it. The funny part is the second interview, the last interview they did with me, they rolled up and I have the mystery machine. I was on a break and I lost everything. I lost my acting. You know, everyone knows the story.
Yeah.
We stood up for truth. I lost everything. And they're like, and they got the masks on in the RV interviewing me, and I'm breaking their balls. And I don't know if I hope they put that in the film. So the film is premiering at an international film festival in January 25th in Denton, Texas, near Dallas. So that's why I'm doing an event on the Saturday. So Friday night, this film festival, anyone can go for free. You just have to go register and get a bracelet. So if you're anywhere near Texas,
month? In January of 2020?
no, it's this month, December. Fucking month, April.
April.
Oh, got me confused.
Thank
It's
you for
Christmas.
clarifying.
April 25th in it's Denton, Texas. It's on my, if people should follow me, go to tenortalk.com and just connect with me on all of my social media. And like 2 or 3 videos in on my Rumble channel, I did I interviewed the filmmaker. It's so cool. People that in this movement will totally, it's not about the film. They'll understand, like, it's so cool. It's called, Is Tenor Still Playing the Part? Because the film is called Playing the Part.
Okay.
And he told me, he confessed to me behind the scenes that when they came there and saw the mystery machine with Trump on it and pandemic and election fraud and human and I'm wearing my Elvis shirt when they interview me. It's in the trailer. They should go look. The trailer's under in the links. It's like 2 minutes. It's a pisser. I got my Jesus is my savior, Trump is my president hat. And they're like, what in the F? And they interview me, and that's in the film. He told me that because of me, mostly, the film has 4 more years of relativity. And it's probably why it got accepted into the festival, because it's so because I'm so controversial.
Right. Wait, where's the trailer? Can we play the trailer?
Oh, I'd have to.
I mean, is it on a website?
If you want to take the time to play my hey guys, I got music. If you want to play the music thing, I'll look for the trailer. I'll see if I can send it to you. I'll see if I can
play
pull it
the
up.
4 minute.
Let me jump out for a minute. Yeah, play
Let me
play
put
the
that
song.
on. That's fine. Let's do that. And let me get this here. Present. I think it's share screen. 3. Here we go. All right. Now I do need to hold on. I need to take that back to the start. Hold on a second. Come on, this dang nabbit. This when I use this search, get off of there. There we go. Okay, let me bring this back to the start. Then we'll play this. And here's the video. It's the compilation of 3 of Tenor's songs. Play this for you guys. Here we go. All right.
God knows we ain't perfect. Lord, how we try. Can we live the way that we live for those brave souls that died? And they gave America their all to America. That's America. There's miles of roads before us as a new generation draws near. Visions, dreams, and understanding, all roads to a new frontier. That's America, the hope of America. That's America. That's America, the hope of America. That's America. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight you for coming. Thank you for
Oh, there we go. He's back. He's back. All right.
Thanks for sharing that. Guys, you can watch those
Yeah,
brief
of course.
music videos at tenortalk.com. And you know, the tour's operating obviously on you know, on donations and ticket sales for whatever comes, you know, from the shows or whatever. But you know, the donate buttons are on healingtheworldtour.com and tenortalk.com. It's all going to the same place to enable me and the people that are going to be following, you know, along the journey. There's going to be people tagging along, powerful people that understand this, what we need to do. So if you find it in your heart, you know, you could buy merchandise too at Tenor Talk. Like, I didn't even know I was gonna. I have the CDs, Joe. I got physical CDs.
That's right.
Thank you for coming, CD. It has
Beautiful.
a pull out with the lyrics. It's pretty cool. I got the That's America. That's America CD and the Silent Night CD.
Right
Cool?
on.
That's America is pretty cool. I did it after the Save America rally signs that I have plenty of them. So you could buy CDs. You could digitally download the song from the artist instead of iTunes and Spotify. You could download it out of my Shopify account if you navigate into there. Or if you want to donate, I have shirts. Thank you for coming. Hats, shirts.
Well, I love that you're able to do this, and you're starting small, because I even thought, you know, as I start feeling comfortable playing publicly again, that I'd want to start like with more of like a house concert type setup and grow organically, because so many of us, you know, we've just felt so isolated, and to just go in a public setting where you kind of have to read the room and figure out if people get it or not. Like, I don't want to subject myself to that crap. I want to go where it's like, okay, you feel welcome, because we've already been through so much of that, having to read the room. And then you're supposed to be vulnerable to start playing your music. Like, when I play my music, I'm downloading, I'm somewhere else. Right. I don't want to be having to navigate if people are going to, you know, have a weird reaction or not. So it's a very spiritual, vulnerable place that we go when we do that. And I haven't really tapped into it a whole lot lately, because I've been so busy with the show, so that I can then tap into that again as part of what I'm doing. And I just love that you're designing this in a way to where you're going into a very supported, beautiful environment. It's like, you know, a baby's got to be in the mama, in the embryonic fluid, in order to be born. I mean, that we're being reborn again into this world. And yeah, I think a lot of us are, you know, holding that torch, but it doesn't mean we just want to go out there and be in a crappy environment to do it. Because art comes from a vulnerable, beautiful, spiritual place. I mean, I think.
Yeah, you brought something up beautiful that I wasn't even thinking. I didn't create anything. Well, I did. I created this. I manifested this. It's on my vision board. I told you guys earlier. It says I'm making millions of dollars, even though right now it operates on donations. But I don't care if I make millions of dollars. I don't care about money anymore. That was the old Tenor before he was saved, before he got a true and meaningful relationship with the divine. Now I know exactly what happened. You know what I mean? I was ready. And I asked, it's what the song says. I hope you guys go listen to the song. The song, thank Q for coming, which is you and me. Q is creation. That's when the sperm goes through the egg. right?
Boom.
That's the Q. That's all of us. It's creation. It's God's children. That's what Q is. So I wasn't thinking that way. I just was Q because I was caught up in the stuff. So I make it thank you for coming, but I didn't really. The divine already knew how the song was supposed to be written and how it was supposed to be named. Q is every was. It's creation. And the words in the song are the blueprint. I was ready to be saved back then. I wasn't on my knees, but I was like, you know, what's the word? Philosophically, like on my knees asking, you know, we all went through, I lost everything. I was rock bottom, drinking, you know, partying, you know, women, and I'm like, God, it's not working. It's not working. And I thought I had God. I thought I had a good relationship with Jesus. I was raised Catholic. I had to wear the suit, you know, as a young kid. I had to do the confession. I had to carry the, you know, the wine around. I had, you know, all of that nonsense. I had to look at Jesus hanging on the cross, you know, displaying proudly that Jesus, you know, was crucified. And none of it really ever made sense to me. I felt like I felt like I had bugs crawling on me when I was in church. I had to do all of that. So I thought I knew God. I thought I had Jesus because I was in the church. You know, I'm Catholic, and I thought it was all good. Not until I fully asked. Right. So if I'd gone to church my whole life and read the Bible from cover to cover, I still would have had the experience that I had, because that wouldn't have, I know for a fact that would not have given me a true and meaningful relationship with the divine, because the divine is inside. And now we're learning they manipulated everything. I mean, they took away the proper way for us to tap into our emotions, the proper way to pray, not asking you shall receive. That's the only thing they left in there. They took out the blueprint and the instruction manual that's in the Book of Thomas. So I don't know.
Is that on your web? Is the proper way to pray? Because that's a pretty profound statement.
Well, that full clip, I just wanted that full clip plays.
Okay.
Under my last video on healingtheworld.com, but
helps one learn how to pray properly.
Well, yeah, the way to learn how to pray properly is following the Healing the World tour. I'm gonna subscribe to Greg Braden and start following him. But if you want to tap in and connect with powerful people live, or you can have us stop at your place and or you watch when I'm streaming. This is what I don't even have it together yet, but the itinerary is going to work. I mean, I know what's supposed to happen when we're on the tour. So the first one,
of course, it will.
People that know and you know love us. So we're gonna build the first one in Ohio. We're amongst wonderful people, but we're gonna fully cover the memo, and we're gonna do the things. We're gonna do the heart and brain coherence. So this is why I say, people, fit some of this into your life a little bit in the morning, and you should be able to soon cut out some of the fat in your life, because if people aren't incorporating this a little bit, then I have to tell you, I'm not calling anyone out by name, because I don't know if they just don't know, just don't understand how to talk about this. I do. So tell them that's great. Have Tenor on the show, and we'll knock it out of the park, and we'll end this madness really quick, because we're the ones that are ending this madness. Nothing is coming to end this madness. That show, tariffs, and I don't know what other department they're going to create next for the movie, and then and everyone's going to get, and then they're going to protest, and they're going to tie themselves to train, blah blah blah, blinders on. I got blind. I don't know. Obviously, I see it, but it's entertaining to me. I go to bed like laughing at that stuff, because I know the language and I know what I'm supposed to do, and I know the divine is sending me out to do my small part,
right?
And he's going to guide the people to me and the people that are with us, and we're going to come together, and we're going to change.
How long? Just so someone has a ballpark, roughly, how much time it would be ideal for you to be at a location? Because I know Lewis,
2 to 3 hours when we streamline it. Here's the thing. This is the important thing. People are waiting for stuff, right? So this might be a new exciting thing. They're thinking they're going to do nothing, stop at a place, and their life is going to change. Did you hear what Greg said about when after the tumor? Greg said he asked the gentleman that filmed it. I don't have it verbatim. I can give it to you Tenor-esque.
Right. Could the person have done it on their own?
Could the woman? But she was doing things before she got there, right? He said go back and watch that, guys. They were giving her this language herself and some things, cleaning her temple. They didn't say go home and eat, 5 cinnamon buns and drink 5 cups of coffee and
No.
smoke 6 packs of cigarettes. They gave her the modalities to go home and clean her temple.
Right.
So people actually want me to do a show because I've been getting healthy for over a year. My diet's probably 70-30. I get, free range eggs, fresh vegetables, and my 30% is kind of my cheat. I was drinking a little bit again here and there. I stopped drinking 3 weeks ago. Nothing. I'm on a fast right now. I lost 15 pounds in like 9 days. I told you guys, think about this.
Right.
What I had Liberation Day. When was Liberation Day? April 2nd?
I think so, yeah.
And what's today?
The 8th.
So I'm sorry, it's the 10 days. So 6 days.
Yeah.
It's almost a week. I ate 3/4 of a hard-boiled egg on Liberation Day because I gave 1/4 to my little girl and her food. She eats healthy like her daddy. And a couple of leaves of spinach and maybe like a tiny little grape tomato or two and my little avocado mayonnaise because I don't eat Hellman's and the stuff that says bioengineered food in it. And people wonder why you might have a hard time tapping into the stuff we're talking about, everyone. And if you are, you should hopefully you got to cleanse your temple. Because if you're on, like I said, 3 packs of cigarettes, half a bottle of vodka, bourbon,
it's not going to work. I want to mention something real quick. So when I was at David Martin's, it was a class on our 12 senses in January of 2024. There was an amazing soul. His name's Stanford Graham. He's friends with David and now friends with many of us that were at this 12 senses event because we have 12 senses, not 5. And it ties into what the event that you're doing. And when Stan put his face into a bowl of ice for about 30 seconds and everyone was cheering for him, he felt so supported that in his EKG, you could literally see the moment or the seconds that everyone was cheering for him and that he took the support from that group and he made it all the way. And he kept his face in the bowl of ice. I forget exactly how long, but when you're supported for what you're doing, it's such an amazing difference. When Lewis asks me to write a song and then you're part of it and Kristen's part of it, and I have it worked out on the team that I'm going to present it with, it's so much more inspiring for me to want to go and do music rather than, I'm just doing another song that very few people are going to hear because the music industry is satanic. And if you're not part of that cabal industry, then who's going to hear your music except for the small people that hear it through the song? So by teaming up with you and by teaming up with Lewis, that way, it's going to get out there. It's going to reach a much better audience. I'm a lot more inspired now that I'm working with people. I've been doing this off and on in the films for many years that when your work kind of falls on deaf ears, it's really not all that inspiring to put all the time and effort into it, that it takes to do something correctly. Because when we're doing songs, we realize that, the bar's raised really high. People have been listening to certain songs for decades. And when you put a new piece of work out there that's part of your heart and soul, not only are you up against the quality of the recording, but why are they going to listen to something when they have these lifetime of memories tied in to the way that they perceive the world? So it's really beautiful to have the support that when you're putting that into the world, that there's a place for thank you for coming. This isn't just a song. This is part of your heart and soul, that it's needed to know that there's an artist out there that believes in our creator, that wants to make a difference in the world. And so that's a really vulnerable thing to be able to do. And Steve and I both relate to that. So that's what we're doing when we're putting a piece of ourselves out there. And I don't take it lightly, and neither do you.
Well, that's all changing. And I didn't finish the thought when you said earlier, when you were talking about you're starting small. To me, I don't see it small. I'm starting big because I manifested the arenas. So this might just not might. Sorry, language.
It's probably going to go like this.
Yeah, I'm letting you know I'm putting on record because people are not getting the memo, so they can go back and shows however long they want to continue to stay in the matrix and stay stressed out. I don't know why anyone would really want to do that, but you got to take a foot out, guys. I'm just asking you to take 1 foot out of the dip a toe into what we're talking about today and change your life. I'm bringing receipts. I'm not just a guy, and I'm not selling a product. I'm not selling a product. I'm selling you yourself, right? Am I selling? I'm not selling anything. I use devices. I removed all of that off of the healing website because we have to get past devices. Did those people use devices when they made the thing disappear? No, they used their
they didn't.
divine power. They used their emotion. They used what we've been manipulated to use our emotions. We're caught up in the madness, and we're still creating, everyone. When you're caught up in that madness and you're arguing, you're fighting, that's your thoughts. That's your intention. That's what's living in you. That's what you're putting out to the world. So you're still creating the madness out there, and me and the people that are going out that are getting this memo, we're combating each other right now. Everyone's caught in the matrix and creating that, and I'm trying to diffuse it. I'm not, when I say me, and not me, I'm not ego, not important. Me and everyone that is doing this, millions, billions, whatever. Hopefully, so we have to morph a little bit into this because we will get the outcomes of everything. You want your children back. You want a relationship back. You want to be healed. You want to tap. You want to be an artist again. You want to get your dream job, your dream relationship. Only you are going to create that. And I'm bringing receipts. I'm working on the woman now. I was holding on to my ex, but when I manifest the woman, I'm trying not to see my ex's face. I'm just trying to see beautiful hair and what I love in a woman, and I'm hugging her and I'm weeping over it because I'm tapping into my emotion. See, so our emotions have been used against us, and guys are told don't get emotional. So guys are screwed unless they get this memo because they're never going to get emotional. They're never going to be able to get what they want from praying. Because they were told to ask and ye shall receive. And we actually have the dissected blueprint out of the Lost Book of Thomas. Right. And it's really just heart and brain coherence. You have to start, guys. Start this. Even if you just find something to be grateful for, that's what's in the heart and brain coherence. And you can go to Healing the World Tour, watch my other video, and you get the links there. It's really just finding something to be grateful. And it's so easy for me every day, Joe, now, because when I can't connect like with my full manifestation and seeing like a certain event that I want to happen, whether it's, the tour or music or doing something, when I can't connect and see it as if it's, and celebrating as if it's already done, that's part of this thing that was left out.
Right.
I just grabbed the dog. And I grabbed the dog, and I immediately, my heart, when something happens, whether it's a tragedy
100%.
or like something happen, you watch something that or something, a memory, and you get, that tingle, that's you're tapping into your emotion. You know what you're doing. That's you have to be able to command that emotion.
Right.
That's when we win. When we at will, like those 3 people that got rid of the thing, they're able to get that tingle on command. They've mastered it. That's what happens when you're totally cleansed. That's what happens when your temple is cleansed and you're not like, what did he say on my Facebook post? Right? When you're done with all of that and you clean your temple,
right?
How can you be like, be like, oh, that's so beautiful.
Right.
Effer! You're an idiot. How can you get tingly when you're caught up in all of that?
Beautiful. Well, I know we're trying to keep this right around an hour-ish today.
We're done, bro. My last words are, I hope people venture beyond this and go to Healing the World Tour. Send me a message at tenorstribe@gmail.com. The contact is on healingtheworldtour.com. Your info is private. If you want to come to a show, we want to work on this. I expect on these tours that someone, are we going to make a thing disappear? I have no idea because I don't have a sonogram machine with me. But if someone's got pain and this and that and everything, I know I'm confident because I also manifested, Joe, seeing a little boy in a wheelchair at one of these tours and people on a walker, and they're throwing them out by the time we're done with the tour. Because I know that I can do what those people did because that is real. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And the people that are coming with me, we want to do that. And we need to get together and we need to do that. And if you can't come in person, go make sure you connect with me on all of my social media. so when I'm streaming, because at home, you see, people can get together across the globe. And the last thing, when the guy put his face in, people did something that they didn't. I would bet you that most of the people that were cheering him on, they were getting excited and emotional about what was going on. They weren't on Facebook screaming at someone. They
Right,
were
they were tapped in.
They
Yep.
were tuned in to what
Yep.
was going on. Their brain
100%.
was focused. They weren't thinking about, holy shit, the cell phone
Their,
bill.
their love for him was focused
And
on
their
him.
love for him was, and they didn't even know what they were doing. And we
Right.
do this, and they
Right.
call healing miracles in doctor books. And we healed someone on my chat 3 years ago because we somehow tapped into it, and the daughter became a medical miracle because they made the word. There are no miracles. Someone made it happen, and they may have not known that they did it. They got emotional because we make everything happen. There's no miracles. We're the miracle. God created us in his image. Jesus said, you'll do greater things than me. Trigger alert. Jesus didn't heal anybody. He brought what was in the book. And he said, get up, woman. Right? He didn't, right? And the blind guy, he didn't, right? He said, dude, you can see. Dude, you can see. It's inside you. Like, that was Jesus was doing. So we're sharing the memo again. The second coming of Christ is us. It's the Christ consciousness. Where we go one, we go all. We're all connected. So when we start putting, and this love field travels from the heart. There's a brain in the heart. This is all in Greg's videos. This goes out. And when you do that gratitude meditation, if you can do that for a few minutes, that stays with you for hours. And your chemicals in your body are changing. You're starting to repair your DNA and all that. Joe, I'm sorry. I said I was done, but please go to healingtheworldtour.com. Please, if you can find it in your heart, even if it's $1, donate or go buy some merchandise, digitally download the song. And if you're struggling and you need a, what do they call it? I don't know, a scholarship, and you want to come to the tour, send me an email. You know,
There you go.
it wasn't about money, man. If you want to come to, it's not about money. It's not about money. It's about healing and changing the world. So please go to healingtheworldtour.com. Joe, I love you, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Much love, everybody. Take care. Cheers.
I have known for some time something about the world ain't right. The darkness lives in plain sight, in the ether. Adjust your eyes. There are those that have no clue. You give them hints, they just stare at you. Most have lived in Plato's cave, watching